Joe, first, Kristaps didn't come out after halftime. Is everything okay with him?
Yeah, he's good. He's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Charles Lee, after the year here and everything, what have you seen from him? You had him on your staff here. You were figuring things out. Now he's trying to figure things out. What have you seen from him? Have you had conversations with him or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just every situation is different, and I think the spot that he's in is a long term, and you chip away at the things that you want to get better at. But I think over the course of the season, you've seen the DNA of what he wants to do and the direction. And I think really the energy, even tonight, coaching against him, the energy and the positivity that he brings to a team. I think the team shows significant spurts of his DNA. So, like you said, we're all trying to figure it out. It doesn't matter if it's 1 year, 5 year, 10 years. We're all the season's always gonna present challenges to a coach, and I think he's handling it great.
Have you given any thought to you see normally guys get their first year or in a situation like Charlotte or something else, and you kind of were given you were given a much better.
I was born on third base.
No, you weren't born on third base. You were given a better situation.
Yeah.
Have you given any thought to that?
Yeah, I get it goes back to the question that we asked at the Knicks game, like the perspective that you have to have. Absolutely. I think think about that every single day. And so the perspective and the gratitude that you have, one, for having one of 30, and also stepping into a situation that may be different than other coaches who are younger or get their first opportunity. It's definitely something I'm aware of, and it's something I'm grateful for, and something that you can't take for granted. And so it just comes with a level of perspective and gratitude. And listen, if you hang around long enough, shit happens. So you just gotta stay present as much as you can.
Joe, Torrey had 2 points tonight, but he also had
he was sick, man. I
well,
love that
5
guy.
rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals.
Yeah.
So he had a sick game, I guess. I'm wondering if you could talk about not just his night, but how you understand his role with this team now that he's been in Boston.
Yeah, I mean, since I got in the league, I've been fortunate to coach guys that have been around. Like my first one was like Blake Griffin, and he taught me, obviously outside of Al, but Blake, his professionalism and being in the league a long time and doing what it takes. And he set the tone. He came to me during a state ready group game and asked me what he could do to get better. And when Blake asked that question, it said a lot about him, but it said a lot about just the environment. And you start to see guys who hang around a long time and why they hang around a lot. And Torrey's in that category. When he came here, he doesn't care. He just wants to play. And I appreciate watching a guy who, regardless of the scoreboard, just plays at the level that he plays at and constantly works. And he's been doing it a long time, and for him to be out there the whole fourth quarter, I thought he set the tone, starting the quarter off with a turnover. And to me, that means just as much to me as what any of the other guys do is just his professionalism and competitiveness.
Joe, you guys have a lot of players who have a lot of gravity as three-point shooters like Derek and Sam, and then seeing them translate that into, screening off the ball for each other and using their gravity in that way, or crashing from the corner. How much pressure does that put on the defense, and how much progression have you seen from those guys sort of taking their three-point gravity and using it in other ways? Yeah,
I think, players put pressure on the defense in different ways. KP does it in a certain way, Jalen does it in a certain way, JT does it in a certain way, and, Drew does it with, when he's in transition. And so everybody has a different way of creating two-on-ones and doing that. And so, those guys have done a great job being creative in how they're able to force those two-on-ones, whether it's for themselves or for the next guy. And they just have to continue to work on that.
And then you talked about Sam's rebounding this year, I think a couple games ago. That corner crashing as shooters, do you think there is any extra value in having the same guys who are so great at shooting the ball being so great at crashing from the spots? It's just a mindset that you have to be able to have. We only had 10 tonight, but we shot the ball well, so I'd like to see what the percentage of that was. But the one that Sam's really gotten good at is the big is boxing the guy out, and he's guarding the guy in the corner, and he comes in and taps it to another guy. And he had 2 or 3 of those tonight, and his defensive rebounding has been even bigger for us than his offensive rebounding.
Joe, you guys hit 7 threes in the third. When you're winding the season down, is it a matter of just tightening things up and being a little more efficient like you were in that quarter?
I thought we played well in the first half as well. I thought we just missed some shots. Al got a lot of good looks. I thought KP missed some. I thought JT missed some. I thought we got good looks. So I think it's just continuing to just take what the defense gives you and fight for the 2-on-1 and fight for the right read offensively. So we just got to continue to do that.
One other thing on the Tory Craig's night. I don't know if you noticed after his dunk tonight, but
His son
kid
almost
came
made us
over,
give
his
up a
son
three, yeah, I
celebrated.
saw that.
Yeah. What have you made of all the kids on the bench this year? Obviously, it's fun. It's kind of getting, they dance with the crowd and stuff. But what kind of environment do you think it's made for the players?
I mean, I'd say if you were to ask me, it's one of the highlights of my small tenure here is the culture that we have of the kids being in the locker room, the kids being on the bench. I think, I think this is Braylon's first time in Boston, and he addressed the team today and he had some strong words for the guys, and I thought it was important that we took that. But to just have the memories that you're going to have for your son to be around, I think is the most important thing. So it means a lot to me that the guys are willing to bring their kids around, and you get to see the joy of doing it, because they're not there all the time, and so they get an understanding of why they're not there, and they get an understanding of how much it means to the family. So I hope that continues.
Final question, Gary.
Joe, one game from the finish line of the regular season. Are you comfortable where you guys are at right now, or is there something you need to work on over the next week or so?
Yeah, I mean, Sunday's game will expose whether we're ready or not from that standpoint. I think that we still have a game left to where we have to play at a high level, and but I do, up until this point, I think we've accomplished what we needed to from the standpoint of going through good, going through bad, having different identities, and so yeah, for the most part, I am. Mm-hmm.
And will you play any of the main guys on Sunday, or how does that go?
I think we're going to talk about that tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks.